Our planet is being followed. No, this isn't science fiction. It's not some tabloid fantasy or an idea from a conspiracy blog. It's real. And it's baffling scientists. Imagine looking up at the sky and realizing Earth might not be alone on its journey around the sun. Something colossal, ancient, and barely visible is lurking in the shadows of our orbit. Scientists call them ghost moons. For decades, these massive ethereal clouds have been whispered about, doubted, and occasionally glimpsed, only to vanish again like phantoms in the night. It began in 1961. A Polish astronomer named Kazimierz Kordylewski saw something strange. Two faint, misty patches hanging in the sky near the Earth and Moon. They weren't stars. They weren't planets. They weren't even clouds, at least not in the usual sense. They were suspended in space, stationary, quiet, and hauntingly persistent. He had stumbled upon something at the Lagrange points, L4 and L5, regions where gravity from Earth and the Moon balances in perfect harmony. These Lagrange points are like cosmic parking spots, stable pockets in the chaos of space where objects can rest. Most of them are unstable, except for L4 and L5. And that's exactly where Kordylewski saw them. Two vast, ghostly shapes, each spanning tens of thousands of kilometers, seemingly made of dust and mystery. But here's the twist. Other astronomers couldn't find them. Year after year, observers looked. Most saw nothing. The skepticism grew. Maybe Kordylewski was wrong. Maybe he'd seen an optical illusion, a trick of the light. After all, these clouds, if they were even real, were too faint to photograph with traditional methods, too delicate to reflect much light, too dispersed to show up clearly. It became one of astronomy's strangest debates. Were these so-called ghost moons real or imaginary? In 1966, NASA got involved. Using a high-altitude jet far above the light pollution of Earth, scientists tried again. And this time, they saw them, both of them. They captured one on camera at L5. It was confirmation, or so it seemed. But then, like a ghost story, the trail went cold again. Other missions failed to detect them. Radar saw nothing. Simulations questioned whether dust could even survive at those points without being scattered by solar wind or planetary tugs. For decades, they flickered in and out of our awareness, seen here, missed there. And then, in 2018, something changed. A team of scientists in Hungary took a different approach. They didn't rely on brightness. They used polarized light, a subtle fingerprint left behind when sunlight bounces off tiny particles. With specialized filters, they scanned the L5 region and saw it clearly. A swirling pattern that matched precisely what simulations predicted a dust cloud would produce. The data was unmistakable. And once again, the ghost had returned. But what are these things really? Despite their size, some estimates say they're nearly 9 times wider than Earth. The total mass of these clouds is incredibly small. They're made of micron-sized particles, no bigger than bacteria, floating in space. Imagine an enormous invisible fog made of glittering dust, slowly shifting and evolving, reshaped by lunar pulls and solar winds. Sometimes it thickens, sometimes it vanishes, but it always returns. And here's the most incredible part. This isn't some new phenomenon. These dust clouds might have been orbiting Earth for billions of years, forming a kind of ancient hidden halo around our planet. A ghost moon. Or maybe two. Not solid like our real moon. Not constant like a satellite. But something different. Something almost alive in its behavior. They change shape. They shift with the moon's orbit. They appear, disappear, reform, an eternal cosmic breath that's barely detectable with even our most advanced instruments. That's why some astronomers saw them, while others didn't. It's like chasing a shadow on the surface of the sea. Yet the implications of their existence are massive. If we can study these clouds, we might learn how dust moves through space, how celestial bodies form, even how to better navigate the complex gravitational ballet of our solar system. We might uncover secrets about early Earth, or test ideas about planetary formation. And as space travel becomes a reality, understanding these clouds could help prevent damage to future spacecraft, or perhaps one day, even be harvested for science or fuel. Some even speculate that Earth could have more ghostly companions, perhaps an entire network of Trojan bodies hiding in the glare of the sun, moving just as silently, just as invisibly. After all, Jupiter has thousands of Trojans. Neptune and Mars have them too. Why wouldn't Earth? And if we missed these for over half a century, what else might be out there, hiding just outside our field of view? These dust clouds, Kordylewski clouds as they're now known, aren't the only strange moons Earth has had. Mini-moons have come and gone, pulled temporarily into orbit, then flung back into space. In 2020, a small asteroid called CD3 orbited Earth for over a year before vanishing again. But the Kordylewski clouds are different. They're not visitors. They're residents. They're part of Earth's story. Despite their ghostly nature, they've persisted through decades of doubt, survived solar tempests, and danced on the edge of gravity since the birth of the Earth-Moon system. And finally, we're starting to understand them. So next time you gaze at the moon, remember, it might not be alone. Something vast, ancient, and nearly invisible could be drifting nearby, watching, following, waiting. A ghost. Not of the past, but of the present. A reminder that in space, not everything leaves a shadow. But some shadows never leave at all.